My supercalifragilistic Sagittarius. To save some time, I already shuffled the cards and laid them out. I'm using a Celtic 10 card spread that'll allow me to look at past, present, and future influences for the week. And as always, I'll be teaching the tarot through each card, so you not only receive your message, but you start to grow your own intuitive relationship with the cards, because that's what this channel is all about, using tarot for our betterment and our benefit. And this is such a kind of cockamamie kind of reading, because it's really good in one sense of really feeling satisfied, that you've got a firm foundation in the area of your heart and probably family and relationships and stuff like that, and even work. But the other side of it is there's still a lot of reflection of the people and situations where you need to take a realistic viewpoint on, and whether some of those people stay or go, or maybe have been a disappointment, and also too maybe a drain on not only your emotions but your pocketbook as well, and as well as causing maybe upheaval in the emotional way as well, or maybe even being emotional vampires. So it's all about you, Sagittarius, doing what you are and who you are and how you want to live your life, because that's what this been journey over the last couple of years especially has been for you, and trying to get your balance in the everyday stuff, because you're a fire sign and you'd like to just kind of fly with the wind and be your own imaginative self, inspiring yourself and others. That's your kind of your superpower. But the reality of the real world has been kind of bitch slapping you for a while now, especially in the area of the heart. And we're winding now down in that kind of reflection time, or kind of experience more really, is also too now it is a reflection time out of those lessons, like where does your heart go and where doesn't. And most importantly, you have the foundation to build anything you want to do, especially for your dreams and wishes in the area of the heart. And for those of you that have been really gaining a stable footing in that area, congratulations, because all the hard work is really paying off. And that we get a reflection of that in that first card placement, that significator, the 10 of Cups. The 10 is the minor arcana finalization stage in the minor arcana, and here we have it in the heart, right? That's the domain of the cups, love, emotional flow. It's all the ups and downs and the journey from 1 to 10 to get to the 10. And it means that you've done it. And along the way that you've learned who you are and how you want to apply your heart and how you don't want to apply your heart. That's some of the tough lessons that we get on that journey, right? And it also covers psychic ability, intuition, our dream state, and love, right? Most importantly. So wherever that, again, that flow needs to happen for you, let it happen. Feel vulnerable, feel strong. It's a kind of combo that really works for you. And it's really appropriate right now, because you can allow your heart to sing in the way that it wants to, even as you're still trying to find your footing in the outside world, okay, from outside influences. And the reason why I say that is in that second card, which is the crossing position in the 10 card spread, and it's in conflict with the 10 of Cups. It's like what's not allowing you to fully enjoy the dynamic of that peace and joyful state, and that respect that you hold for yourself. And that's kind of the only thing that you're going to allow in your circle of the 10 of Cups, all right? Because that's a lesson, learning our own identity and and respecting our heart. And that's the only place that, or only thing that's going to come into our circle, right? And that crossing card that's not allowing it to kind of fully blossom in you is the Three of Pentacles. And this gets really interesting, because the 3 is a celebratory state in numerology and tarot. It's like a pause state to say congratulations in the material world is under the domain of the earth signs of Pentacles, right? It's a lot of people just keep it to work and health and community. But after doing it so long, and especially for a Sag, the way you are, one area, like your heart gets tweaked, it's going to touch everything else. And I'll say this with the heart especially, if you feel like you don't have that firm foundation, that plateau to build upon, or you're not getting the help that you need to build that kind of solid foundation for yourself, or you feel like you don't have that achieved yet, let's say you really are in a beautiful relationship and you feel like you don't maybe have the material means to take that to the next level. Sag, come on. No, this is like the hippie vibe. Just be you, love what matters most, and not the material. And I'll also say this, I'm jumping around a little bit, because the reflection in the outcome card is the King of Pentacles, where we can shut down not only money, but our emotions when we're being pushed and into like conflict with our own integrity and ethics. And a lot of times when the king appears to me, it's also too, we're getting into a mindset of poverty, like we're feeling maybe a tightening of the pocketbook. That happens a lot, and maybe that's why that Three of Pentacles is, maybe you're feeling like your footing in the material world is like a little sand based right now. You're not feeling like you're on solid footing, right? That would be a reflection of that crossing card, and maybe kicking in the king to say, oh, rally the wagons in a circle. Let's rally resources. Let's hoard stuff. It's that kind of thinking that it makes it seem like we're never going to make $1 again. And that is the cause of that tension there. Okay, so you're kind of in your own narrative, and I'm not saying there might not be outside influences. A lot of times when the king appears, there's also a tightening of the pocketbook to kind of get your attention, because Sagittarius is pretty not willy-nilly with cash, but they like to spend it. They like to spend it on the people they love, and maybe that's the reflection here. Make sure, even as long as your emotions, make sure your resources are going to the people and situations that only brighten your betterment and your benefit for having and being in relationship with them. Okay, so don't shutting down anywhere, because it's only going to stop the flow of love here in the Ten of Cups, and it's not going to make you feel any more firmer in your standing of the three. Okay, so you really need, it's all about our thoughts, because we're the only ones that control them. So if we start to break that narrative, that we can move in a new direction, and that's what God is offering here. And I love this reading, because the third card position, the top of the matter in the 10 card spread, or I like to say God's direction for the week, is the major arcana of the world. When we encounter a major arcana, it's number 22, which is a magical divine number in numerology and tarot. It's an ending cycle for fruition to a new chapter of life. That's the world. It ends the major arcana. You'll always see it as a circle. It's a representation of the circle of life, where we started once, we're starting again, because we've completed. The major arcana is about life lessons that we need to encounter to make ourselves better people within ourselves, on our own integrity and thoughts and heart and imagination, right, and practicality. But it also makes us better society people, right? We know how to interact in a really pleasant, calming way. We could be emotionally and materially, and even any kind of support to other people, because we have that dynamic within ourselves. That's the world. It's also a reminder that you have all the intelligence, imagination, abilities to make money, and heart to make anything manifest. And also too, it's another representation. It's so cool that it's sitting on the 10 of Cups, because in that circle, a lot of times, including my deck, you'll see a couple inside the circle. And it's a representation of the respect that you earned for yourself through your identity and where you want your heart and love flow to go. And that's only the thing that's going to be in your circle. So again, a great combo here for who you are, the hard work that you've been putting towards your heart to really respect it yourself first and foremost. And that's been the key here, to allow you to open the door to get and gain other insight where people in situations really might have to go by the wayside. And out of that dynamic of the world is, it comes into these two cards here. The fourth card is the base of the matter in the 10 card spread, but I like to say the gut feeling. And here we have the Two of Pentacles sitting right underneath the three. So maybe you feel like you haven't gotten enough accomplishment yet, or acknowledgement yet, or even from your own kind of inner kind of checklist that you haven't achieved these things that you want. And especially, I'll say this for the people in situations that you really love. But the two says, no matter where that kind of energy is stirring with you, you do have a firm footing here. You can make anything materialize, including money or career or changes to health, changes to attitude, right? Anywhere we're feeling rigid and not flowing our emotion, and we're buying more into the cheapness or the stinginess of the king, that's going to kill us here. And it's definitely going to kill any productivity or creativity to be able to move forward. And you know this in your gut. You know you've got the firm foundation. So I'll say this. And say you're in a relationship and some of the people just need to step up in a better way. Don't hesitate to speak what you want, okay? Like, I'm not saying train people, but I am saying train people, like give them the opportunity to know in a calm, respectful manner of what you're thinking, if they need to change things to fit more your vision, or there's might be a need to be a compromise. More importantly, don't be afraid to make any kind of changes or voice your opinion in any way to make everyone feel good, but also to express what you're feeling, most importantly, because that's what's happening here. And I'll also say this, if there's places and situations that you're moving away from and you don't want to have a conflict, or you feel like, oh, if I exchange words, it's just going to get hot, don't bother. Silence is its own authority and power. So wherever that reflects for you, Sagittarius, use it for your betterment. But the whole point of it is something is stirring in you, and you know you're getting your footing somewhere, like two little hooves of that centaur is standing there and saying, ooh, wow, I know I've got something here. So believe it, you have something here. And it all stems from your self-love, which you have been working hard on as well. So to see the Page of Cups, which is literally the definition in tarot of the self-love, in the 5th card position, which is leaving our life right now, and sitting next to the 10, out of the heavy dose of self-love, self-nurturing, and work that you've been putting in this area to change that dialogue in your head and your heart to something that's positive and supportive, first and foremost for yourself, right? And then again, when we're thinking like that, we're going to be translating into our actions and words, and that's going to come out lovingly and beautiful as well. And that's the Sag domain. To me, you're the party host of the zodiac. Everyone wants to be around the Sag because they're so generous of heart and support of words and interest and listening and even dollars and cents. You know what I mean? And food, they'll lay it out like a beautiful banquet in front of anybody that wants to partake in their beautiful energy, right? And that's you. So it's great to see you getting ignited. Here we've got a representation of that little pond, and we have like a little river that could come out the side. So that's you getting your reflection again in that cup, saying, what is most important to my heart? Where did I kind of get my heart damaged, and how can I heal it? That's a reflection of the Page of Cups. It's that abundance that awaits you to just rise up out of that kind of inner insight and say, now where do you want to apply it? And you've been doing that. So I'm so proud of you. And it gets reflected in that 10 of Cups of the hard work. Again, the journey through the cups, right? It's our heart. It's not going to be all happy, beautiful butterflies and unicorns. It's going to be the tough stuff that brings us up and down, that binds relationship. So anywhere you feel like a little bit more firm footing, or you're trying to achieve that, it means that you can. All right. So don't tell yourself no. And I think part of that reflection also happens here in that 6th card placement, and why I keep saying a realistic look needs to take place. The 6th card is what's happening right now in the 10 card spread. And here we have the 5 of Cups. So here, more emotional energy flowing, but it kind of gets stopped here and spilled over. Right? It follows the foundation of the 4, but the 5 is good luck in tarot numerology. But in tarot, there's always some sort of conflict to get over. And here, it's the only time you'll see the cups turned over in the journey. Sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 3 with 1 or 2 standing. In my deck, it's the 4 turned over. And it's like other people come along and they kick over your cups. And maybe you kicked over your own cup with foolish, the way that we can be when we're younger or even older. We make decision makings that kind of hurt our own heart, kind of consequences of that. And it's also the realization of other people hurting us and dynamics of what we don't want in life in that emotional flow, and what we do want and how we want to build our relationships in the future. That's the kind of energy that comes out of the 1 or 2 standing cups. It's more defined, while your other cups might be spilled over. There's still emotion in you. There's still flow. Water's coming from other places. It's being refreshed all the time. So let's not block it. Take that realistic look and see how it's in the columns here of the justice kind of vibe of a courthouse, right? It's about you coming to clear decision-making based on facts. You don't have to have a disillusional view. It's also like a lot of people say in tarot too, it's like falling in love, but then you're getting real. It's like that 6-month mark where we see in partners or relationships or friendships or even work environments, whatever the case may be. It's like, or even like we're trying to change our health, where we got to get real at some point. What are the things that are working that are not? And we're coming out of that moonscape too, so that delusional land, right? We can be feeling like we're disconnected from reality here. And that's why the 5 says, hey, like the bitch slap of the universe, saying, let's look at things realistically. And Sag has been doing that for a while now. So wherever that applies to you, just know that you could trust your inner instinct, right? And because what's so cool about that, why we have maybe a few little cards that tweak that negativity scene, but it's also negativity viewpoint where maybe it's really for our positive, because that's a reflection of 5. That's how I get to the good look, by looking at things realistically. It might be a hard thing to do, but it's positive, right? And it's for our betterment. That's why I love tarot. And in the 7th card placement, this is so groovy cool. Because in the 1st card, the significator, the general gist of the overall reading, the 7th card position is the way that we're feeling about ourselves. So not only in that gut feeling, you're razzmatazzy, moving in a new way, trying to explore ideas, how to make your life all around better, right? And here in the 6 of Wands, 369, celebratory state in the numerology and tarot. And here we get that creative energy of imagination, inspiration, an idea that gets materialized in the real world, and not even just like getting its legs. It's got a critical mass and then some. And what's nice about the Six of Wands in my deck is you're coming together with other like-minded people, soul-minded people. And maybe that's why the reflection of the Five of Cups, you know who the people you need to turn to for that emotional, spiritual, or even career support. Like it represents teamwork. So let's say you're an entrepreneur, or just like grooving on people at work, or grooving in the support groups that you have, or you just love your friends. That's a reflection of the Six of Wands. You really, you know you've got solid standing here, and that great things have been happening in this domain, and that you could build upon it. So wherever that energy is for you, tap into it, because it's stirring within you. You know it. And probably why it's saying, let's do new things. Let's start new adventures. Let's take new directions. Let's see how we could even razzmatazz my current relationship to make it deeper and stronger and more on solid footing. Okay, wherever that is for you, Sag, it's in your capable hands to do anything. And what's interesting here, in the 8th card position, how other people view you, is the major arcana card, the moon. And the moon is, the star is the toughest card to me in the tarot of the 78 card deck, and the moon's the second one. It's not an easy, it's mama. I know a lot of Sagittarius have literally been through experience that shook them as to their core as moms. And that would be a reflection that people have a soft approach to you, that you've traveled the land of the moon, the shadowland. You've overcome primal fears and anxieties. You've gotten into a realistic state of, like, part of you, like just as a centaur, you're part man and part animal, primal stuff, those anger rages, as well as, wanting adventure and running and freedom, as well as having logic and intellect. That's your domain. And that's the mastery of the moon. To me, the moon is, when she appears, it's meant to scare the living daylights out of you. But when she appears, it means that's over. And you're courageous and solid in a way that you never thought was possible. And you're walking out of that land into the sunlight now. And that's a reflection of the moon. It's a warrior. So people look at you as someone that has really overcome a whole lot of stuff and then some. Where it would have brought other people to their knees. You are kind of like an inspiration. You walk the walk and talk the talk. You lead by example, even despite I'm getting goose pimples, even despite the holy terror of hardships that have hit you. Okay, so great job here, Sagittarius, because even though it's how other people view you, it's your reading. And the moon, to me, is one of the best karma cards in the tarot, because you don't get to it unless you've done the lesson. So that's one reflection, and then you've done it because you've let go, let God. You're trying to tap into that higher consciousness, that higher, like, reaching for enlightenment, to understand what's been going on and to be a better person out of it. All right, so there's rewards for that, and we get part of that reward reflection here in the 9th card as well. So not only happy good times, this new stirring, new friends, new good stuff. And the 9th card is our hopes and fears position, right? So the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is like you. Here I come with my identity, my intellect, my thought, my intelligence, the way I want to communicate it. I've worked so hard to understand who I am. That's why that mountainscape is in the background. It's not just overcoming any mountain. It's like Everest. To get that higher consciousness, to get that different perspective, to understand other people's point of views, as well as your own, and gaining that insight. That's how we become a good judge of fairness and honesty and truth, right? Integrity, ethics, and character are under the domain of the swords. It's also legalities, business, and contracts. So wherever that's touching you, don't be afraid of it, okay? Because you're on solid footing now. You're out of the mountains. That inner core, that self-confidence, that self-esteem, that self-love that gets ignited in knowing who you are. So that's, believe in that power. Do not be fearful of it, okay? Stride forth. And maybe you're a little fearful because in the outcome card, that King of Pentacles, like I said, he's going to try to undermine you when we get that kind of poverty state, right? And again, it's our own thoughts that are generating. And I'm not saying it's not happening in the outside world. Like, you might be feeling that pinch, right, of the pocketbook or the money. But it's all about the way we're thinking about it. And I guarantee, Sagittarius, you've been through a lot tighter situations than you probably are right now. And it's all more about trying to move this 10 of Cups into a reflective light of real reality for you, okay? So you can make this happen. So don't shut down anywhere. And I'll also say with the King, we could feel like sometimes we're giving out a lot of stuff, whether it's emotion or finances, material, or just even energy, whatever. It's, we feel like we're not getting it back. But, so just don't feel cheesy if that's happening happening to you, take those people and reflections, get them out of your life, and get back into the good exalted state, or the positive state of the king, where he brings abundance. Okay, he brings your ability to make money, make solid material structures that build for your legacy of tomorrow. And that's the whole kit and caboodle for Sagittarius. It's not, you're not doing it just for yourself, you're doing it for everyone that you love. So that's starting to come into a realistic viewpoint for you. So get rid of, it's like clearing up a construction site. You've already built the house, it's really got solid standing. Let's get ready to go decorate inside. So, but we need to clean up the yard of all the debris that take us to get here, right? Okay, but it's all really good, and we're ready to fly in a new direction. With the bonus card is that validation, is the Knight of Wands. Here I come with my ideas, I'm ready to stride forth. And it's you with your creative energy, ready to make a material reality in any way, shape, or form. It's your imagination, inspiration ready to take off in a new direction. You already have accomplishments. He's flying over the hurdles of the past. Things that would have bugged you no longer stop you in making things materialize out of your imagination. Okay? So go get him, Sag. You so deserve it. This is such a beautiful welcome for your self-confidence. So don't let anything, including yourself, undermine your ability to move forward and go get this really beautiful dynamic. Okay, so have a great week. Thank you for everyone that watches. Thank you everyone that subscribed. It's so cool. And if you like this content, if you consider subscribing, I guess that's, everyone is telling me I need to stress that, because we're trying to spread the word of good news of tarot, that everyone could use it for their benefit.